For Dan Weber, I'm Johnie Freatman, bringing you instant analysis here from Howard Jones Field. And Dan, you just talked to Matt Barkley a little bit earlier. What is his sense for where the offense is right now, halfway through the regular season?
Well, he said, he won't go along with, frustrated or whatever, but, they have to do better. And he said, I'm a team firster, and, there may be situations where you don't get to throw the ball as much. I asked him about Lane's rationale after the game at Washington, that maybe he didn't throw it so much in the second half because he didn't want his quarterback to get hit. I said, he told us, after the game that you could take any hit. He said, yeah. He said, Coach, that's going to be between me and Coach. We're going to have a talk about that some more. He didn't like the idea of being said that one of the reasons they weren't throwing the ball is he wanted to protect the quarterback.
And Dan, Lane talked about a different tempo, different intensity at today's practice. What did you observe in that regard?
Well, I mean, we didn't really need to wait for Lane to say that, because you could hear it, if you were outside, the people outside practice, I think, could pick up on it. They ran so many more plays. They were much more physical. I mean, the guys are just sweating through their jerseys today. This is the hardest practice, and Lane did say thought it was the most physical practice of the year. But I thought the up-tempo way they approached things, the going from one play to the next play to the next play, really having the offense, especially it was the offense, I think, that carried that. The defense has been doing more of that. But the idea that you had to execute under pressure, execute quickly, and just keep doing it again and again and again, I think it's what we haven't seen for, the better part of a month.
Lastly, Lane's been getting questions about penalties virtually all season long. Things haven't really seemed to improve. He gave a bit of a new answer today when approached about that. Can you elaborate?
Well, no. See, I think this is my answer. Lane does not give us these kinds of answers. But one thing he did say is the left tackle spot is open. And Max Turk was in there splitting first-team reps. And I think one of the issues about penalties is one of the ways you correct them is you don't play the guys that get a lot of the penalties. And I think that could be that plays into the fact that USC's 112th out of 120 teams on third down conversions now, because they've put themselves in the jackpot. Their average third down is like third and more than 8 yards. So a lot of that is early penalties, and the second part of that is like Matt was saying, we get third and short and we get a false start, and then we don't convert. And they went 8 straight possessions at Washington without getting a first down. And as Lane said, in effect, you're turning the ball over the other team. We can't keep doing that. So it had a whole different vibe here today, a different feel about it. And I think most USC fans will probably be pretty happy if they would have been able to see practice today.
All right, well, Dan, thank you very much. For Dan Weber, I'm Johnie Freatman. This has been Instant Analysis for USCFootball.com.